are we working? Let's see. No picture. Interesting. Ah, there we are. It looks good. Yeah, give us a thumbs up if we're coming through loud and clear. Or type something down below. That would be lovely. Thank you very much. Let's see. Evening Peter. Not getting any thumbs at the minute. Maybe we're not working. Looks like it's okay. We just twiddle some things this end. Yeah, seems to be all right. We'll assume we're good. Right, so I hope we've all had a jolly weekend. Busy. I've been flying about all over the place, rounding some stuff up for a little telly job tomorrow, and bringing some more lots in. Evening the other Peter, and had another. I can't remember if I mentioned Friday or not. Another collector, interesting selling up, which I'm hopefully going to see next week. So busy week ahead. So I'm going to hopefully get the batch of early stuff in next week, and possibly go and look at one other collection as well that's coming up for sale. In amongst everything else that's going on next week, and it's bank holiday weekend coming up as well, isn't it? So that confuses things and makes the road busy in one thing and another, but never mind. Evening Peter, Stella, we'll get there, I'm sure. So if you didn't tune in Friday, just quickly, before we look at photographs, all of the machines are listed for the 4th of September auction. They've all got multiple pictures. There'll be a few more pictures going up. A couple of people have asked for pictures of the insides of the Bandits without the mechs in and whatnot. So I'll do those tomorrow. And then in the week, the catalogue will go onto Easy Live. You can register now, just click the blue button. But the catalogue isn't there yet, but it'll be there in the week. And then you can place your bids. So there we are. Have a look through them if you need to know anything about any of them. They've all got reasonably detailed descriptions. As much as you can say, mechanically complete and working, operating an old penny, blah blah blah. Pictures of the mechs, etc. As I said the other night, they're kind of a bit better than I thought they were going to be actually when I first saw them. So now they've been sort of cleaned up and decrapped. A few of them need glasses and bits and bobs, need locks. They're really just a good clean oil sort out. But yeah, there we are. So that's that lot. Any questions on them, fire away. So I've been scanning in some pictures of some nice 1930s pictures. Well, I say nice, they're hard to see, some of them, but let me just find out where I've put them. And I've got some pictures of some new stuff that's coming over the weekend as well to show you. Which should we do first? Let's do some old pictures first. If I just do this, is it going to play or pause? I think that's paused. So I had a batch of, I think it was about 20 odd 1930s pictures of British Manufacturing Co. machines, which some of you know I collect BM Co. machines, have done for years. I've got quite a few. Some of these I've got, some of these I haven't. If you've seen them or know if they exist anywhere, then I'd love to know, because I'd love to see them. I'd love to buy them even more, of course, but just to know they just survived would be something. So yeah, so there's a few here. This first few, these are big machines. I've got a few of them. So the actual organ is about the size of a like a giant Wonders or a giant Ollie Wales or the big film ups, that kind of size. Then by the time they've got a huge top flash on, they're about 4 foot tall. And these ones have a big wooden ball in them, kind of, I don't know, inch and a bit, kind of golf ball size, probably almost. Brass backed, brass tracked, big wooden ball. And I used to operate one of mine in my travelling arcade, and because of the size of the track and the size of the ball, little kids loved it because they could kind of, because it's quite slow, because it's a long way around the track, and it being a big ball, they could spot it easily. So the way it actually did rather well. But yeah, nice machines. So this one, 3/6s, don't know if this one's around or not. I've never seen it in the flesh. So if anyone knows it exists somewhere, it'd be nice to find out. And then we've got the Beetle. This one you can't see on some of these pictures very well. I'll upload all these pictures to the website after the live stream so you can zoom into them a bit better and have a look at them. But this machine without the top, this does exist, is it got a top hat in it. And you turn the knob on the left and the top hat moves from side to side. So it's like a clown catcher or any of those type of catching machines. Again, big wooden ball, big machine. That machine went through Bonhams about 30 years ago. 30 odd years ago. I was working in London at the time. And I couldn't get to the auction quite in time because we had, I think it was King Hussein came to visit. We were working number 10 at the time. I couldn't escape because we had to tidy up. So it's entirely King Hussein's fault that I haven't got that machine in my collection. So there we go. There's an interesting little story for you. But it's out there somewhere. I don't know where it is. I don't know who's got it at the moment. But yeah, it'd be nice to get a proper photograph of it. The netball. This is another one. I don't know if this one's around or not. The cups on these are rather nice. I've got these cups on another machine, which we'll see in a minute. So they're like shield shaped backs and they're like kind of wire baskets. And so obviously they're quite a big cup because they have to catch the big wooden ball. So that one's a pretty simple game, just 4. I assume the 2 middle ones are probably wins and the 2 outer ones are probably lose, I suspect. So that was netball. Interestingly, it's got the different shape top flash. Well, there we are. Fun Times TV says, hello and evening all. First time here. Well, hello there, Fun Times TV. Enjoy and yeah, do come back. And yeah, if you know anything, need to know anything, fire away. Pot It. I own this one. Now this is quite a good one. You're not sure you can see on the playfield because my cursor doesn't show, but kind of to the top centre of the playfield, you might be able to make out there's another wooden ball permanently screwed to the playfield, a red ball. When you put your penny in, again, this is the big wooden balls. You get a white ball, a cue ball, and that's obviously supposed to be billiards. You fire your ball round. If your white ball hits the red ball that's fixed to the playfield, it bounces in off and goes in that centre cup, and you get your penny back. And if you miss, it generally ends up in the outer 2 cups, which is your losers. So it's basically a billiard game, going off the red and pot your cue ball. So it's quite good game. Works surprisingly well. And it's amazing that if your cue ball hits the red, it does go in that centre cup. So that's quite good fun. That's the one I used to have on my travelling arcade, and to say it was always quite a popular machine. So that one does exist. I own it. Then we've got the Win Easy. This one I've got. There's 1 or 2 of these. I think there's one in Bordeaux's book floating around. There's another one I think sold a few years ago at eBay. I think went through. And I've got one very similar. I think mine has got dominoes on it or something. The steps. So it's a bit like the first one we looked at, the 3 6s. There's something on the steps on mine. I think it might be slightly different layout, but basically the same thing. But I have got the Win Easy top. So yeah, again, it looks clever designs. It looks deceptively like you can't possibly lose, but of course, as usual, the 2 outer ones are lost and all the middle ones win. But just with any all win, the ball tends to end up in either side. It almost always misses the middle. So that classic kind of all win design of looking easier to win on than it really is. Again, another one of the big ball ones, one of the giant machines. So there's 2 or 3 of those around somewhere. Now this is a rather lovely one. It's quite a good photograph, this one as well. Again, I'll upload all these to the website so you can zoom in and see me a bit better. A Penny to Football, a 2-player machine. And you probably perhaps can't see if you're looking on a small screen, but on a bigger screen you'll see there's 2 little football figures in the bottom left-hand corners, and above them there's goals with goalies in. stick your penny in and get your ball out. Again, it's a big wooden ball. And the idea is to kick the ball obviously into your opponent's goal. So I don't know if the goalie moves possibly when you pull the trigger down, not sure. Don't know if this machine exists. There's a similar one exists, which unfortunately I don't own. I'd like to. I did make a top flash for it, for the chap who owns it. But yeah, what a lovely thing. So it's a 2-player game, that one. Obviously 2 losers and 2 wins, so I presume the ball would come out on the opposite side, wasn't it? If you're the left-hand player and you win by getting into the right-hand goal the next game, I think the ball would come out on the right-hand side. So the loser would get the first kick of the next go or something. What a nice machine. Need to own it. And this one, kicking for goal, this seems to be kind of a single-player version of the same thing, pretty much. Again, it's got the little football man on the bottom, a goalie above him, and the track, you see the ball kind of goes round, which hand works on the screen, never remember that way. That's it, the ball goes up. The top part of track, you can perhaps kind of see the kind of a short length of track to the top of the playfield. That moves. I've got another machine that does the same kind of thing with the knob on the bottom. When you twist the knob, it moves that top piece of track to aim the ball where you want it to go. I've got one, I haven't got a picture on there, I've got one called Shooting the Moon, where you fire the ball round and you move the last part of track to try and get it in the craters in the moon, basically. So it's quite a nice machine, same kind of idea. Again, I don't know if this one exists or not, I've never seen it. There's a very similar, smaller early French machine in Bordeaux's book, which I guess they nicked this idea. BMco nicked the idea from that early machine, I would think. I seem to think there's a German machine similar as well, Jensen Mears or somebody like that made. So it's not a new idea. So it's kicking for goal. What else have we got? First pop. This one looks good. Again, as far as I know, I've never seen it, so I don't know if it exists or not still. Again, you know, we're working on very old photographs, so see what you can see. But basically, again, you fire the ball around, and all in track on the right-hand side of the playfield, and it ends up in a little brass gun, which again, with one of the control knobs, you can aim the gun, twist the gun up and down, as it were, to fire it in one of the windows. I think it is. I think it's a little house, and you try and get it in one of the windows. Maybe you're trying to shoot somebody in a house. Don't know why. Delightfully politically incorrect, isn't it? Eating Barry. But yeah, you know, another multi-game with a steerable track, which they seem to have done a few different versions of. Coin returned when a ball is shot into any hole. I think it says on the top flash there. You notice a little star on there was one of their things that's on quite a few machines, a little star above the gun. On some machines the stars spin round. I'll show you one in a minute, which is one machine I've got. That's first pop. And very similar is Target Deluxe. Again, fires it round. You can't see very well on this photograph, but into that same kind of brass gun thing. And then shoot it toward the target on the left-hand side of the playfield. It seems like the target's got a square tube down the centre of the target, obviously with holes in. And if you manage to fire the ball into one of the holes in that square tube, you get your penny back. Or if it hits the tube, doesn't go in the hole, that obviously bounces back and you lose. So it's that trying to steer the track to line up to fire your ball into one of the holes in the target. Again, I don't know if that one exists. I've never seen it. The nap hand, this one's a bit different because you fire the penny round on this one. A very simple playfield. Drop your penny in, fire it around. And I don't know if certain cards win and some don't, I'm not sure. It must be the case. There doesn't appear to be any loses, so I can't read what the 3 cards are around the edge of the playfield, but maybe I don't know. Perhaps you have to add, get your 4th card. Maybe it adds up to a certain score or something. Not sure. So I imagine some of those are going to be losing, and some just return the penny. Couldn't be much simpler, really. Not one I've seen. If anybody's got one, let me know. Fruity, the Fruity, and this one's a bit different because it says on the top flash you have to catch, you get multiple balls, probably 3 or 4 for your penny, and you have to catch 2 balls in the fruits in order to win, in order to get your penny back. So that's a bit different. I don't know how that mechanism would work, but obviously some kind of double trip mechanism to drop your penny back with little fruits as the catching cups. That's one I've not seen, but there's a very similar one, the Midget Golf, which is exactly the same machine but with miniature golf obstacles. You see there's little brick walls and castles and things like on a Crazy Golf or miniature golf course. That one does exist. I don't know who owns it at the moment, but I've seen it years ago. So it's floating around somewhere. I haven't got it, but at least we know it survives. So again, if anyone knows who owns it, it'd be nice to try and get a proper picture for it. I think I have got a photo somewhere, but I can't find it. But yeah, so those two are, you see, essentially the same machine, just a different playfield. Looping the Falls. Now this one, I own this one. Looping the Falls. So you fire your ball around, and then the last piece of track above the row or the double row of payout cups, you press the little button on the front door, in the centre of the front door, and that track retracts into the back of the playfield, so you can drop your ball into whichever cup. If the ball goes all the way along to the end, then you lose. So it's a case of judging it just right when to press the button in to lose the track. Now that's very similar to a machine called the Switchback, which was made by London Automatics. Let me just pull it up on the website. It's kind of similar but different. I'll show you what I mean. Here we are. So this is Switchback by London Automatics. See, the track layout is slightly different because the BMCO one just zigzags from side to side, and the this one kind of zigzags both ways symmetrically. But that same idea, you get to the bottom, press that centre button in, and the last piece of track retracts above the payout cups to get you in. On the London Automatic ones, it looks like it's win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. And I think on the BMCO one, oops, which is now, I've got to scroll through them all again now, haven't I? Didn't press the pause button, silly me. Bum, 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 bum. Where are we? Here we are. Yeah, I think they're all wins from memory. So this one I've got. That one survives for sure. The Regal. This is just a standard kind of 19 cup all win, brass backed. That one I've got as well. So that's not terribly exciting. Just a multi-cup all win. Always good to operate. Those of you who operate would know multi-cup all wins because it just looks like you can't possibly lose. So they always take good money. Any operator needs a big multi-cup all win. And then there's the Royal, which is very similar. I haven't got one of these. Bit of a different layout. Looks even more impossible to lose if they're all winning cups, which I assume they are. Yes, they are from the playfields. If you miss all of the cups, then there's the lost hole in the bottom of the track there. So again, you look at that and you think, well, how on earth can you possibly lose? But of course, those of us who've got all wins know that the ball almost always goes to either end of whatever's in the middle of the playfield. It almost always misses. Of course, you've got the pin field above it, so the ball is likely to hit one of the pins and bounce off to the edge of the playfield and end up in the lose. So again, a really, really clever design, which looks like you can't possibly lose, but actually it's probably quite hard to win, I would imagine. That one I've not seen, so I don't know if any of those survive or not. Then we've got the Bell Bagatelle. This one is. This is a photo of a photo of a photograph. So I'm sorry it's a bit poor, but it's the best I've got at the minute. I can't actually remember if I own this one or not. I might do. And that sounds really silly, doesn't it? A lot of my stuff's in store and I can't get to it. But essentially, we're onto the tall BMCO machines now. So these are kind of ordinary all-win width, pretty much, but quite tall machines. And this one, you've got 4 bells, like bicycle bells almost, on the playfield. Surrounded by a circle of pins, like on a traditional bagatelle board. So if the ball goes in, dings the bell, and you score. And get your penny back. Simple as that, really. These upright kind of bagatelle ones are very simple, but really pretty machines. So that one's Bell Bagatelle. I might have got that one. Can't remember. I've got a similar one, which we'll come to in a minute. Billiards. I've got one of these. I think there might be 3 billiards around. I don't know whether there's another one. I think there might be 3 billiards. So it's a billiard. You can't see very well again on the photograph, I'm afraid, but there's a billiard table essentially on the playfield. And you'll see there's kind of what look like 2 dots are the cue ball and the white ball permanently fixed to the playfield. And your idea is to fire your ball up and get into one of the 6 pockets on the billiard table when you get your penny back. And what would be on a real pool table, the D of the balk on the balk line is the lose cup. So if you miss the 6 cups and you go into the balk, you lose. So that's billiard. So that one survives. I've got one, and there's at least 1 more, if not 2 more around. The butterfly. This is probably the prettiest one they made, I think, in my opinion. Beautiful machine. I think there's 3 of these. I've got one. I think I've probably got the nicest one. There's another one floating around that's a bit faded. The butterflies are like water slide transfers onto tin plate, then onto the casting. So they're quite fragile in a way. So there's my one. There's another one around somewhere with the butterflies on, and then there was another one. It's been through various auctions a couple of times where all the butterflies were just painted red. I don't know if anyone's perhaps painted them now, made it look a bit nicer. But such a pretty machine. Again, very, very simple. Just fire the ball up, and if it lands in a butterfly, you get your penny back. If it doesn't, you lose. That's it. There's nothing else to do with it. But just a lovely, lovely machine. Richard said, evening, never seen these before. Are they clown catch era? These are all early 30s as far as I know. Sort of 30, 33, that kind of era. Early to mid 30s. Yeah. There's not many of them around. Most of these obscure BMCO machines, there's as you'll see, there's quite a lot of them, as in there's loads of different designs. And the ones that survive, I've got quite a few of them. But generally, there's only seems to be one of each. There seems to be a huge variety, but only they must have been made in very small numbers, I think. I don't know if they might have been made, almost as a set for trade show as an idea one year, and it just didn't take off. So hence there's a big variety, but only ever seems to be 1 or 2 of each. But I say the butterfly, there's 3 of around I know of. I think there might be 3 billiards. Moving stars is another one we'll come to in a minute, which is 2 of I know of. So yeah, pretty rare things really. The darts, I think there's a darts. I seem vaguely to remember seeing one years and years ago. So I think darts might survive. Again, kind of just a simple bagatelle idea. Fire the ball up. And I think if you get a 20, you get your penny back. So if anybody else can remember seeing that anywhere, or if you own it or know who owns it, let me know. The darts. We've got drafts. There's one of these around somewhere, because I saw it in the flesh years ago. I don't know who owns it at the moment. In the drafts, you have to get so there's like 3D drafts on the playfield, singles and doubles, kings, and you have to get the ball into the kings to get your penny back. Again, dead simple, kind of boring in a way. All these are very boring games to play, these kind of upright bagatelle type ones. They're just a big flashy looking machine. That was drafts, and then we've got French bagatelle. This one I've got, so we know there's one of those surviving. Again, there's a bell at the top there in the centre of the playfield. I think it scores 25 points if you hit the bell. And then there's columns below that. And I think you have to get 20 or more to get your penny back. So that's French bagatelle. Different from the bell bagatelle, which has got 4 bells on. The French bagatelle only had 1 bell on. Lucky Wheel. I don't know if this one survives or not, but it seems to be a BMCo's take on the kind of the circle skill idea. So it's got a rotating circle of pins in the middle, like on the circle skills. And then it appears to have 4, looks like there's 4 columns underneath to catch the ball in. Can't quite read the top flash on there, but it'll be the usual thing. You know, get your ball in a certain column. To get your penny back, these are all only penny return amusement only machines. So that one, I don't know if it survives or not. Lucky Wheel, and then we've got Moving Stars, another really attractive one. I've got one of these. So on this one, as the title suggests, the stars move when you hit them. When you fire the ball up, they spin round. And the idea is to get your ball into the moon, and then you get your penny back. So yeah, it does a little bit more, that one. Nice colourful machine. The stars are all pretty colours, and the moon's kind of hand painted. When I can get to my machines, I'll photograph them and add the photographs of the real machines. But in the meantime, you can make do with them. So that one survives. And there's another one around somewhere, a bit narrower. These tall BMCo machines seem to come in 2 widths, a kind of a narrow one and a wide one. So I've got the wider version of the Moving Stars, and I have seen a narrower one. But from memory, I think the moon was kind of at the bottom with the stars above, rather than on this one, my one, you know, there's room to have the stars to the side of the moon, if that makes sense. So that's quite a nice one. And then Twirl It seems to be a bit of a combination. This one I've never seen. Again, I'm sorry about the picture, but that's all we've got at the moment. But it looks like those stars probably move again when they're hit by the ball. There's a pin field, and above that rotating disc in the centre of the playfield. And it kind of looks like because there's 2 knobs on the bottom, you obviously can control that disc, I would imagine, somehow or other. It looks like there's a tab on the disc. You can't see on the photograph. You'll see when I upload when you zoom into it. But I suspect there's like a winning cup on the disc, if that makes sense. I think you have to try and turn the disc to catch the ball as it comes through the pin field into a certain segment on that disc. That's what it looks like to me. And then return it to the left to drop the ball out into the machine to get your penny back. The same as you do with a clown. Return the clown once you caught a ball. So the ball goes in to release the payout, if that makes sense. I think that's what it does. I'd love to find one and find out if that's what it does. That one's Twirl It. And then we have Skill Deluxe. interesting story about this one. So Skill Deluxe. This one kind of looks like a double all-win, although it isn't. So you stick your penny in, the ball comes out, all-win style as usual on the kind of the right-hand side of the playfield. Fire the ball around. It goes around twice, I think. So once it's gone around the fire spiral twice, it then fires out. You can't see me in my hand action over here. I need to do it with this hand because it's all back to front on the camera, but never mind. So it goes around the spiral, fires out then into the left-hand side of the playfield where all the stars are. And if the ball ends up in a star, which happens surprisingly often, you get your penny back. So that's Skill Deluxe. This one survives because I own it now. So many years ago, 30 years ago, I used to, some of you will know Dave McGladdery. Many years ago, I used to have a shop in Brighton called Endangered Species, a slot machine shop back in the day. And I restored a lot of slot machines for him for the shop. And one day out on his travels, he bought a load of stuff, including this top flash. And because I collected BM codes, I bought it off him or swapped it for restoring a machine or something. And I hang on the wall for years and years and years, thinking, oh, one day I'll find the machine that goes under that. The machine did crop up, but then was sold before. I don't know why I didn't buy it at the time. I couldn't, or wasn't for sale, or whatever. It was sold to another collector. And for years, we kind of had a thing where he wouldn't sell me the machine, I wouldn't sell him the top flash, but we both agreed that if either of us sold, we had to sell it to the other. If that makes sense, we could put the machine back together again. Well, unfortunately, the chap passed away a few years ago now. And his collection kind of sort of disappeared into the ether for a while. It all went very quiet. None of it appeared on the market anywhere. No one quite knew what was happening. Until quite recently when it, yeah, some phone calls were made and stuff appeared. Anyway, long and short of it is, I now own the machine and I put the two back together. So there we are. There it is. All in one piece. The interesting thing is the top flash is definitely the same one as in this photograph. You can sort of study the grain patterns in the wood, and it's exactly the same one, but it appears the machine is a different one. The grain pattern on the door doesn't match, so it seems to be, must have been at least two made. Also on my machine here, you'll see the it's got a payout cup, like a later style payout cup. So instead of being coin return, it's been got a normal payout inside, so it will do coin repeats. You can win multiple times. But playing it, it's surprisingly how often you get the ball into the star. So it could never have made any money because you stick a penny and you win 3 or 4 times because you get the ball back and you win. So it needs putting back onto coin return at some point. So yeah, so there's that one. So that one definitely survives. That's it. That's all of those. I'll play them around again in a minute. So that's all of that lot. Oops, what have I done now? Don't know. Stop is what I wanted to do. Why isn't it letting me stop? I've done something strange. So, hang on a minute. Why won't it work? I think I might have pressed the wrong button. Don't know. How curious. Play. I'm trying to get these to go on their own, but they don't seem to want to. Ah, there you go. Yeah, so there we are. So there's that lot. So as I say, I'll upload all these to the website when we finish this stream. If anybody knows where any of them are, or have got one, or knows anybody who's got one, or can remember seeing any of them, or any different ones, or whatever, then let me know. We'll try and fill in some of the gaps on the BMCO page, of which there are quite a few, because they made a lot of machines. I've got 114 listed on the website, but a lot of gaps. But this will fill in 20 odd pictures. So yeah, there we are. So that's that lot. So let's have a look at some pictures of some stuff I've collected in. Oh, while we're talking about machines, what have I done with this picture? Copper Falls. Peter Cousins asked who made this. I think it was Crompton's. Does anybody know if it's a Crompton's machine? I think it is. I have got a Copper Falls listed as a Crompton's, but I've got it listed as a floor standing machine and no picture. So I don't know if I've just assumed it was Copper Falls. Sounds like a pusher, and I assumed it was a pusher, and it actually isn't. It's this, or if they also made a pusher called Copper Falls. If anybody knows, then let us know. But I'm pretty sure it's Crompton's. If we have a look over on the old website here, because it's very similar to Penny Tumble. Same sort of idea. And what was the other one they made? Tip 'em offs. Again, that same kind of idea. But notably, it's got quite a different payout cup. Also seems to be a steeper angle of the two side parts where the coins stack up, but I imagine it's the same. But if anybody does know for sure, we'd like to know. Right, let's have a look at some new stuff that's coming in for auctions. So you just press that button there. Yeah, stuff coming over the weekend. So Snap Machine. We sold one in the last auction, a wall-mounted one of the same thing. So this is a floor standing version of that same Snap Machine. Was it Streets made snaps, didn't they? I think. Let's just have a look. Streets. Yeah. So here we are. So this is the one we sold in the last auction, made $330 plus the premium. You see, it's one in a mahogany case, and we've got a floor standing version. There we are. If you like your Snap Machine, so we've got one of those. We've got a Turf Champs, a Stoner Turf Champs, quite a rare machine. Needs restoration, probably quite a lot of restoration, but the playfield's pretty good actually, and the cabinet's quite nice. Yeah, somebody's already suggested, well, just turn it into a coffee table maybe. But I'm sure if you were determined, you could do something with it. It's quite a nice looking machine, really. Yeah, so quite large, about 4 foot long, something like that. Playfield, 3.5, 4 foot long. So that kind of size. So there we are, Turf Champs. Oh, these photos are in the wrong order. This is the very nice painted base that this model sits on. So fairground model of Anderson Rowland's Dragons. Reasonable size, it's probably 2.5 foot across, something like that. And it's actually got a working waterfall in it, believe it or not. The big scenic railways had waterfalls in them back in the day. There's hardly any pictures of them survive, but they did have waterfalls in them. And yeah, whoever built this is a little pump in it and a reservoir and everything. So I might see if I can get it working, although water and electrics, what could go wrong really? But we'll see. I haven't tried yet. Plug it in and see what happens. So yeah, so this goes with this very nice base. This is a 4-sided base, all hand painted, that it sits on. So that's quite nice. This stuff is all for September the 25th auction. We've got this rather fun model. It's sort of life-size, torso and head only of a judge. It reminds me of somebody, but I can't think who. But it's quite good fun. I'm not sure what you could do with him. Make him into a, I don't know really. some kind of fortune-telling type machine or something, perhaps. So it's quite good fun. Oh, an ultra record player on its Sputnik legs, all working. That's quite good. As if you like your 45s or your 33s, or probably 78s as well, actually, what do you think? A few toys, a Dux Astroman robot, quite a good rare robot apparently. From what little bit of research I've done, this is a battery one, the remote control. He's German, I think he is. Dux Astroman. I'll have to do a bit more research and stick the details up when I get round to it. And then we've got Winky Robot, mechanical robot. So he's got winky eyes. But what a good name for a robot. Winky the Robot. Again, apparently it's quite a good rare one. He's boxed and everything. So if you like your tin toys, there you go. Little layman clockwork. We sold one of these before. Sure we did. Let's have a look. Let's go to toys. We sold one of these a few years ago. What we found? Clockwork toys. Clockwork toys. Clockwork. Got this category very well organised at the moment, but I'm sure. Yeah, there we are. There's one. So that one, gosh, back in 2013. Doesn't time fly? Anyway, £110 we got back then. I think it's probably worth a bit more than that now. So that's that. Oops, I just gone back to the start again. Sorry, I shouldn't keep doing that. I need to change the setting on here so it stays. Where do we get to? Yep, little layman. We've got these. Peter says, looks like a wooden cabinet, not the usual metal case for a snap machine. Yeah, there's plywood, Formica plywood, good solid cabinet. Pretty good nick, I think, from memory. I think there's a, you probably see the photograph when we come back around it. I think there's a sort of a chip on the bottom, on the very bottom corner. But otherwise, I don't think it was too bad. You could always sort of just stick a bit of skirting board around the bottom or something. Yeah, we've got these pair of, so rare I can't even find out what they are, who made them at the minute. I think it might be Bing or Marklin, one of those makers. Clockwork paddling canoeists. Yeah, those of you like your tin toys, these are rare as the proverbial rocking horse doodahs. Presumably they just sank in people's ponds or in the park lake, never to be seen again. So I suspect hardly any survive. Pretty rare thing. Yeah, so they're quite good. Again, need to do a bit of research on those, find out who made them and what they're all about. Unless anybody knows, of course, then they can tell me. A little car. Clockwork car, the box. Oh, Punch and Judy doorstop. These are quite good fun. I think one's had the old Zebrite on it, one hasn't. So yeah, why not have a nice Punch and Judy doorstop? There's another Punch doorstop as well, different design. So we've got Punch and Judy. And another Punch. I'll probably sell them as a pair or not. I don't know. Some people might have a Punch or might have a Judy and need the other one. So I'll probably sell them individually, I expect. Yeah. Bit of fun. Nice bit of cast iron. Nice little enamel sign, Firestone. This one's only about a foot wide or so, something like that. Gary said, better late than never. Absolutely. You can always watch it back, can't you, from the start when we're finished. So nice dinky little enamel. As I say, it's about a foot wide, 3 or 4 inches tall. That's all, 3 inches tall probably. Pretty good nick. Those of you like your enamels. Oh, this is a fun little thing. This is a thermometer from, it's American. I think it's from a bar. I think the name's on the top of it. And so the center drum rotates around, and the hotter the temperature gets, the more the lady loses her clothes, until you get right to the end, which is just around the corner when she's completely naked. So there you go. I think she starts off in a fur coat and gradually strips off as the temperature gets up to 120 degrees or something it is. That's quite a fun little thing. An 11s, streamline 11s. We had one last auction. What did it make? I won't flick back to the website because everything turns off. But let's just have a look back itself. Hang on a minute. Bum, bum, bum. Slot machines. Brian's is. 11s is. So the one we sold a couple of weeks ago. Come on, website, wake up. Website's going slow now. Well, in a minute, I'll tell you how much it sold for, because I can't remember. Come on, website. Good grief, what's going on? Has the internet stopped? Interesting. There we go, see it now. Don't know what happened there. 960. The last ones. I must adjust the premiums on there because that's not right. I need to do that. Yeah, 960 the last one made. And I think this one's pretty much same sort of condition really. Again, there's original backflash in it, which is nice. Original chrome. It's been revarnished. I think that's all this on the cabinet. It's on Old Penny. So if you missed the one last time, you've got another chance for another one. This German wall machine, we sold this one last year, I think, on the Colcon system. The chap bought something in the last auction and brought this one back again, so he's sort of upgrading his collection, so which is always good. So again, we get the chance to sell it again. This one I don't actually know the proper name of. I don't think we ever found it out. Oh, there we are. Back to the start again on those. So there we are. So that's some stuff that's been flowing in over the last couple of days. Just let those roll around again in a minute. And more to come this coming week. So yeah. As I say, this week I am going to collect in the collection of early machines that are coming in. Now, I don't know, we might possibly do that as a separate sale even, because it's some nice stuff. And it's kind of a bit of a niche market, the early stuff, so I might do that as a separate little sale, possibly. I'll see just exactly how much stuff there is. Then also, hopefully this week, I'm going to go and see and collect in another collection of stuff. Machines again, fairground stuff, bits and bobs, signs and things. Another one of our long-time customers we've known for many, many years, who's retiring and sort of downsizing, moving house, etc. So there'll be some good stuff there again that's not seen the light of day for 20, 30, 40 years probably, which is always nice to have some fresh stock in. So watch this space, and in between all that, obviously trying to get the spares catalogued up for the 11th of September. So mega busy. A little telly job on tomorrow, which I've managed to delegate out to Dave, so that's all right. I haven't got to go and do that. Yeah, Alan is coming the end of this week, I think. If you've got stuff to pick up or drop in, get hold of Alan and sort that one out. And we just keep rocking and rolling, really. So let's click back. Should we have one more look at these BMCO machines? I'll just let these new stuff twiddle around. I do like a little thermometer. I think that's quite sweet. A bit of nostalgia. So yeah, nice 11s is there. And the, what was the other machine? Oh, the gem ball machine. Yep, there we go. Rightio. So I'll just roll these around one more time while we sum up. So yeah, I'll upload these BMCO pictures in a minute. Or well, in a minute, in an hour. I'll have some dinner first. And then I'll get these uploaded. So you can have a better look at them if you want to. As I say, if you know anything about them, any of them, if you've seen any of them, got any of them, remember seeing them somewhere, or any similar, really. There's quite a few machines we know have got titles of machines from old adverts or whatever, listing machines, but I don't know what they look like. They've just got names. So it'd be nice to try and put some picture to names. The same as we were trying to do with Wonders and Olive Whales and all the rest of them. Often we know lists of names of machines, don't know what they look like, but they'll be out there somewhere, hopefully. So there we are. I think that's it. Any questions from anybody? Any questions, comments? Fire away. And I'll just let these run through, and that'll probably be it. Good grief, it'll be coming up for 9 o'clock almost. I've been rabbiting for an hour. You must be bored of me by now. So yeah, goodies rolling in. More archivy stuff for the website. I've got another whole load of these nice 1930s or earlier pizzas, some nice really early stuff, some really obscure machines, beautiful stuff. But I'll save that, or perhaps I might do that next weekend or the weekend after, once I've got this batch of early machines in for auction. There might even be some that tie up, if you see what I mean. But that'll all sort of go together then. We'll have an early machines special one Sunday in the next 2 or 3 weeks. That sort of stuff appeals to some and not others. Like everything, I guess, really. But yeah, it's all interesting. So one thing is interesting is seeing how the ideas over the years just keep coming up again and again. People, the BMCO nicked some ideas from earlier turn of the century stuff. Then later on, Olive Whales, Wonders, Parkers, whatever, kind of pinched the ideas from pre-war and so on and so on. So these ideas just get reinvented over the years into different machines. Richard said, stuff delivered today by Alan and a machine from Scotland. Life is so much easier. Yes, isn't it just? Very reasonable. Absolutely. Yep, it's very good. And yeah, I think last time he collected for about 9 people all in one go from last auction. So that helps it obviously make it efficient from Alan's point of view. The more people you can collect from in one place, obviously cuts down the transport, so it's working really, really well. Peter says, thanks for the interesting old photos. Haven't seen any of those before. No. I've no, some of those machines I'd love to find. I'd love to own them, but even if I can't own them, I'd just love to go and see them, really. Get some nice pictures, and I just know that they still exist would be nice. Like when you collect anything, really, you want to, ideally you want to own it. If you can't own it, you want to go and see it, don't you? If nothing else, you just want a picture of it. So yeah, it kind of goes down that list of priorities, doesn't it? Whatever it is you collect. But yeah, we got this one together. Thanks in large part to Pete Williamson for his assistance in getting that together. Oops, let's go back to it again. So reuniting the top with the bottom after about 30 years. Why won't it stay on that picture? That's what I want to do. Pause there. Skill Deluxe. So yeah, that's my latest BMCO machine. I think I've got about 50 BMCO machines, something like that. Yeah, some of the big ball machines, some of the tall machines, some of the ordinary little Allwins. The fortune tellers, I'll perhaps do a fortune teller special sometime. I think I've got 10, I think, BMCO fortune tellers, different ones. Little ones that give out the card. Really pretty ones again. And quite a few other fortune tellers. I've got a lot of fortune tellers for some strange reason. They always appealed. Don't know why. But yeah. And then perhaps on one of the meetups sometime I'll bring some of these machines if anybody wants to see them. Yeah, so the big ball machines are quite interesting. They're quite fun to play. I'll dig some of them out. Dave Jason said, City own that. City own what? Who's City and what do they own? Don't know. I'm intrigued now. Oh, didn't I own that? Yes, you did own that, Dave, yes. And you sold it to Derek. And Derek owned it for many years. And I've got the top flash from Dave McGladdery when I used to restore machines from him, if you didn't tune in earlier. Back in the days of his shop in Brighton, Endangered Species, those who remember it. And he got the top flash in with a load of stuff he'd cleared from some arcade or other. And because I collected BM stuff, I thought, oh, well, one day I'll find the machine that goes under it. I think by the time I'd got the top, you'd sold the machine to Derek. And I realised what, every star I win, I thought, I bet that goes on that machine. And yeah, Derek wouldn't sell me the machine. I wouldn't sell him the top, but we both agreed if either of us ever sold, we had to sell it to the other. So there we are. It's now reunited. And say it is actually, if you look at this old picture, the top flash is the same one as in this period picture. But the actual machine seems to be a different machine because the wood grain on the door is different. When I can get to my machine, I'm going to study some of the other ones because it's interesting to because the wood grain's quite distinctive. If it's a decent picture, you can see if it is the actual machine or not. But yeah, there we are. Peter says you'll have to get them all out of storage one of these days. I would love to get them all out of storage. I've never seen my collection. Isn't that sad? I've never seen it all in one place all at one time. That's what's been quite nice about the collector day things we've been doing, is just dig 3 or 4 things out and yeah, show them to people really. And it gives me half a chance to get a decent picture of them to upload to the website as well. So I keep moaning about other people, send me pictures, send me pictures, send me pictures. And of course, there's a lot of things that I've got that I haven't put pictures up because I just haven't got pictures. For some reason, I never got around to taking pictures of most of my own stuff. But there we are. So yeah, that's it, I think, from me. Unless anybody's got any more questions, comments, or whatever. If you're sitting on a stash of BMCO machines you want to sell me, that'd be lovely. Yeah. That's it, I think. Marvellous. Thank you all very much, as per usual. You know where I am in the meantime if you want me. I say this week is really muddly in terms if you want to come and pick anything up, drop anything off, view, etc. This week is going to be difficult because I'm out and about collecting in a lot of stuff, hopefully. So I am around, but if you're passing anyway, then give me a shout, and then hopefully we can arrange to meet up. But the following week, after the bank holiday, should be a bit more organised. I should be here a bit more predictable times, really, rather than flying in and out and all over the place. So there we are. Right, I am going to go and get some dinner. I shall bid you all farewell. We'll catch up again on possibly Tuesday night, unless I'm out on the road Tuesday, in which case I might not be back in time. So just keep an eye on the website. Or if you're subscribed to YouTube, which hopefully you are, you should get a notification when the videos go up. You should check your notifications. There's a little bell thing when you subscribe to channels on YouTube. Click the little bell icon and make sure you get the notifications. Then you should, in theory, get a message to say when there's going to be a video. So I'll just stick a note in here. Next video Tuesday night, all being well, as might be out in more goodies for sale. Keep an eye on the website or plus make sure. Oops, I can't spell. I can never spell when I try and type and speak at the same time. Just make sure you're subscribed and have notifications. Notifications turned on. There we are. That's it. Right. Super. Over and out. I'll catch you all hopefully on Tuesday with news of lots more goodies in for sale. Night to night.